11-year-old with autism imitates birds. This ended way too soon. I would have listened to all 50 birds. What a cool kid. Well, chickens. We must protect this delightful child. That chickens at the end made me lol. Truthful guy. The kid's adorable. There was a video of him performing in front of his classmates where he imitates different birds. Very impressive skills. I low-key want to see the inside of his mouth while he does this, because how do you squeak like styrofoam? Dude, that's insane. A 2-year time-lapse of a pine tree growing from a seed, condensed into 60 seconds. And just like that, I watched a tree accomplish more in 60 seconds than I did in 2 years. I wonder what species of pine it is. The sapling looks so different compared to the ones I'm used to, I wouldn't have been able to tell it is a pine tree at all. Seen it before and gladly watch again. Thanks for the share. That is beautiful. Nature is incredible. Are oddly satisfying. Me waiting for my life to grow as fast as this pine tree. There's something so alien and Lovecraftian about the way it grows. Where is all the new mass coming from? AIO, I'm tired and hungry. Babe, enough people are talking about your man. I am worried you have a chronic autoimmune disease and aren't eating and losing weight, especially working in that heat. I know your kids or your priority should be, but you should be next and before him unless he has chronic issues too. If you have a flare-up, you are out of work again and have even less money. Definitely do not marry this man who doesn't care about your health and well-being. At the very least, he's inconsiderate. He's not very present or self-aware. He doesn't seem thoughtful. I'm sorry you're going through this. You really need to have a heart-to-heart and require some change on his part. AIO 23 meters 20F. Is it bad I am about to leave her? I didn't even finish reading the screenshots, but yeah, you need to leave her. She is very manipulative and immature. She is 20 years old and needs to learn how to manage money and credit cards without blaming others. If she's that poor, then she doesn't need a credit card. She is acting like a literal child. It is very abusive towards you as well. I don't know how TF you deal with this. People like that usually never change. Do yourself a favor and leave her. You deserve better. AIO for asking my boyfriend's mom to stop calling me the backup plan at dinner. Welcome to your future if you stay with him. She doesn't like I respect you. And BF has a spine of cooked linguine. He will always take mommy's side over yours. Dump him. And find a man who is an actual adult. AIO for refusing to host my Sil's baby shower after she called me barren. No. She made her pregnancy about your trauma. It was an intentional jab and totally unnecessary. The real question is, why is she using your trauma to shield her own if she truly didn't think before she spoke? Then she shouldn't have any issues with apologizing. It's feigned innocence and she's using your reaction to stroke her own ego. AIO for wanting to uninvite this guy to a bachelor party because of his behavior. Why on earth would he insult you? It's not like you're close friends. Extreme red flag. He's a crazy asshole on cocaine. Just exclude him. If you don't, he will likely do stupid shit when the party comes. Wow. Tell him he doesn't need to go any longer. He's not welcome. That was extremely rude and uncalled for verbiage. You did everything correctly and he insulted you for just trying to keep everything organized. Nor. Ayo. Guy immediately changes once I say him practicing abstinence. Yeah, I mean obviously this dude sucks. I wouldn't date someone who wants to wait until marriage either, but if a girl expressed that desire to me, I'd just say like, okay, I respect your choice, but that isn't going to be compatible with me. I wish you the best in finding someone whose worldview more aligns with yours, or something to that effect. He was hoping he could change your mind and got pissy when you stood firm. Hence the shaming at the end. You dodged a red flag. AIO update: I walked at graduation and my mother did not make an appearance. Congrats, I'm glad she didn't turn up. Good for her. What are your plans now, dude? First and most importantly, congratulations on graduating. That is, no one around you has said it yet. I am proud of you and your hard work. And I am excited for all the things you will go on to. For the rest, I am sorry that happened. You deserved better than that. But don't let that detract from all the good you have going. Keep going. What's the significance of it being general admission? Like, why did she comment on that? Co-worker spent 2 years upset I worked remote and he didn't. And got fired after getting drunk in front of a client. Honestly, talking shit about the client to the client has got to be a top-tier blunder. Like, at least learn the man's name before calling him dumb. Teams, imagine having been a fly on the wall with a tiny fly-size bucket of popcorn. OMG, people like that are so painful. Sounds like he spent as much time complaining as he did training when he started. Co-worker tried to blame me for a mistake I warned him. I let him sink. This is a bot. Good job. It's not on you to save Private Ryan, especially from his own him learn. Curious. What is tripping that this sounds like AI alarms? I honestly want to know so I can alt and block avoid them. Stop with all these AI posts. OMFG. Ryan started the fire. So Ryan can fuck up and just get a verbal when he tried to throw you under the bus for his fucking the higher ups, or what kind of shit is this? Nothing beats the satisfaction of letting the receipts do the talking. You warned him. He ignored it and you stayed classy. Well played. Fletching a blowgun dart with Thistle. He looks exactly like the kind of guy that could do that. We could learn a thing or 2,000 from a guy like that. That really was interesting. That was incredible. SHIK AKAAA. The most interesting man in the world. Backwards edition. No magic. That's an impressive Thistle missile. That was sick. Now that all magic has been debunked. The amazing Randy has turned his attention to Dart is quite amazing. I am always enlightened when I can see skills like this. Can't find feathers? No problem, Thistle do. Greece uses the same design on its €1 coins that was used on coins from 2,500 years ago in Athens. That's one of my favorite things about the euro. Each country has their own design on the back face of the coin. I like getting a coin that's been minted somewhere else in my change. It's fascinating to see what countries go for. Some just go for a picture of their head of state or the coat of arms. Others are really creative. Italy's are my favorite. Probably a dumb question, but does every country have a different version of the €1 coin? Is it just me, or is AI way less advanced than it's made out to be? A lot of it comes down to using the right tool for the job. ChatGPT is great at generating natural language responses. But to logically interpret instructions and generate an answer is a very different task. In your example, you'd have better luck running a search on a dictionary, which is much simpler, and more it's hard for people to train their own models for the tasks they need. AI has a lot more application in specialized commercial and government use than for consumers. Kettle water tastes like rubber because of coworker. Why hasn't anyone told her to stop doing that? The petty version of me says label that her kettle and get the office a new one. The professional version of me says explain to the manager and just ask for a new one. Sleepy people really like to ruin things for others. I had a hot water bottle split open once. The inside was full of mold. I would definitely report this. This is a health risk. Not only that, people can have rubber allergies. My boyfriend left me alone at a restaurant to play chess in the bathroom. AIO. Time stamp would be on the receipt. You can show him exactly how long he was. If you still had a bill and had a drink to finish, maybe. But no. That should have been a quick pee before walking out. Why isn't anyone commenting on the last text you sent? Loudly crying, 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 loudly crying. He's gonna get hemorrhoids. Loudly crying, loudly crying, loudly crying. My former co-worker confessed before leaving the company, and rumor is they're coming back. Nah, I get why you're icked out. It's not just about the confession, it's the whole vibe, like he assumed you'd be down to entertain him. Resigning's extreme, but if he's even slightly pushy, HR should be your first stop, not your last. Currently in a relationship with someone else now. So at least I know he won't be bothering me with this stuff again. Smirk. First time? I've heard that he's currently in a relationship with someone else now. So at least I know he won't be bothering me with this stuff again. Lol. He didn't that you were in a relationship. He's absolutely not gonna care about his own. Poor people who dated rich people. What did you learn? I learned that every family has similar issues. Rich people can just solve them quicker. I grew up in what I can only describe as the identical median income household and had a decent job. So not poor. But I dated a woman who I met while she was in law school whose family was very rich. The subconscious expectations were overwhelming. I would plan a little surprise and she would expect something like a trip to Europe. She wasn't trying to make me feel bad. Her expectations were just so high from the world she grew up in. An idiot with lots of money is still an idiot. That good parents are better than rich parents. She asked if we had snakes in the office. We thought it was slang. It wasn't. Justice for Biscuit. Bro did nothing wrong. Biscuit did not. Biscuit doing her job trophy. Sadly, it's animal abuse to just bring a snake with you in a bag for BS reasons. Is this sub also becoming AI stories? I almost always am at work alone. I bring one of my iguanas sometimes. He just chills on my shoulder while I work. Wouldn't do the same in an office environment, thought. I mean, pythons are 100% non-toxic, have been cold and too dry for the snake. Bad pet owner. Sociopathic behavior, but also hilarious. The eye of a llama. This is insane. But it's basically a biological sun visor to keep bright light and UV rays from entering the pupil. Scroll down to breed care. Question 4. On page 2. How to unsee this, please? It's the eye of the llama. It's the thrill of the fight. Car LLLL. I should call her. That's even weirder than a goat's eye. Off in cephalopod territory. Why is this so disturbing? Looks a lot like a cuttlefish's eye. Holy shit, thought it was Grand Canyon or something. Looks like your mom's beef curtains. Everything reminds me of her. The largest underwater sculpture in the world, Ocean Atlas, Bahamas. It would be amazing to dive in the Bahamas to see it. I would be terrified seeing that in person. Looks like one of the guys in that Will Smith iRobot movie. Rapture vibes intensify. I dived there last October, neat little area. And saw my first eagle ray there. There is also the airplane used in Jaws 2, I think about 150 yards from it. Getting there sucks though. Nassau taxis are worse than scalpers. And do not go solo. I feel like I've got water in my left ear. Pouring the cement must have been tricky with all that water. Maybe they used a mold. These bees swarming around an attacking hornet. Forming a hot bee ball which cooks the hornet alive due to the bee's rapidly vibrating wings. Imagine rolling up thinking you're the apex predator and getting sautéed by a cuddle. Safety in numbers, as the saying goes. May the heat of 100 bees consume you. Bee mean honey, bee roasted. Humanity merely adopted torture insects were born in it, molded by it. I don't understand why hornets and wasps try this when there are dozens of bees present. It didn't look like any of the bees got cooked. Why didn't they die as well? Why use your fingers to check on the hornet? This guy learned how to speak with chicken. That sounds like the noises my chickens make when they're spooked about something. So he basically said, yo, something isn't right here, and they were like, this we're out except for that last chicken who was like, bish, I don't see anything, but okay, I guess lol. Soon he's gonna be known as the guy who cried HWRIOOOOIGHHHHH. He's mimicking an alarm call that roosters will often shout when they see a predator. Chickens responding to the call of the hawk. Now find the command to lay eggs instantly. What actually happens if election fraud is discovered, with irrefutable facts? It depends on when it's uncovered. If it's before the Electoral College convenes, they can change their state's votes to a different candidate. If it's after, then it's going to be up to Congress to handle it through impeachment and removal from office. If Congress won't impeach, then probably nobody gets arrested because it's the executive branch's job to investigate and arrest. What are your thoughts on Elon Musk tweeting that Donald Trump is mentioned in the Epstein files, and then deleting the tweet shortly after? Honestly, the tweet didn't shock me. The delete did. My thoughts were, thanks for telling us what we already knew. Jackass, I figure he deleted it because he got a phone call. Like Trump has some dirt on Musk and reminded him that they both can destroy each other. I'm not surprised by the first or second part. And Musk probably remembered he's on it too. Everyone knows that already. That box-headed moron knew it too and still supported the spray-tanned fat idiot. What's something a toxic co-worker did that made the whole office go silent? At the first department meeting following my mother's death, our boss read through the minutes from the last meeting. Then she paused and added, oh yeah, I almost forgot. Lisa's mom died last week. Okay. First agenda item. One co-worker's father had had a stroke. This happened on a Thursday when we were pretty busy. The next week, another co-worker asked if the father was going to have a stroke every Thursday as it was really disruptive to the workflow. What's the most memorable quote you have ever came across that stayed with you forever? Givers must set boundaries because takers never do. You don't have to set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Comparison is the thief of joy. People will forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. Once I became a parent, the days are long but the years are short. When I got engaged, an old woman I worked with pulled me aside and said, oh hon, I know you love her. Make sure you like her. 2.18 years married. Never been happier. What's the strangest thing you've witnessed in real life? I lived on a dead-end street. Came home from work and in the center of my road was a rabbit, a squirrel and a crow all facing each other. I stopped wondering what was on the road that would attract all three. The crow noticed me, turned back in. Then they all left in opposite directions. I looked at the street and nothing was. I simply interrupted a meeting between the local animal representatives. Bioluminescence in Florida. It's like straight out of a sci-fi movie when the ocean does it. I used to work at Subway. I watched the new hire slather a peanut butter cookie in a pile of mayonnaise before eating it. Why do around 1/3 of cops have faces that look like thumbs? IDK, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I thought everyone was just roasting when they said fetal alcohol syndrome, but holy shit when I Googled it. I can't believe I just read this. I have a good buddy whose dad was a cop for 25 years. I once told him that his dad looked like he walked off the set of Spy Kids. I kick. A lot of them do steroids. It makes your head swell up. I think unflattering short haircuts, being white, fat, red in the face, and poor skincare all contribute to the look. Steroid abuse is extremely high among police. You can now pay with your palm in China. I find it more amazing when people learn to speak another language so fluently. I can barely speak English. Cold sweat smile. Finger necks. It's crazy. When I hold out my palm to provide payment at the grocery store, people just say stuff like, "Sir, the total is $84.67 and there's nothing in your hand. Can I sue them for not accepting my payments?" Palm OS was great. Surprised it's still around. I've been doing this at Whole Foods for years now. Edit: everyone thinks I was making a shoplifting joke, but I wasn't. Pay with your palm has been a thing there for a while now. Tears of joy.